Shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay. All right. We're still continuing the teaching of the 24-hour teaching against this paganistic ritual called Christmas, man. You Israelites should not be celebrating these paganistic rituals, man. We tell you over and over and over, the Lord says in Amos, okay, 5:21, he hates your feast days, man. Because those are not the days he gave you to celebrate, excuse me. It's been a long day, bear with me. Those are not the days he gave you to celebrate, man, okay? And he hates those days, man. When you sit down to that meal, he ain't gonna be happy, man. He ain't gonna be accepting your wishes and your prayers, man. All you're doing is bringing on curses to you and your families, man. All right? You may think the Most High ain't real, but he's real, man. And you're going to find it out the hard way. You keep on celebrating these pagan rituals, man. Okay? Because those are not the days he gave us to celebrate. And he wants us to do away with them, man. That's why we're doing these teachings, man. To counter that negative vibration, man, of Christmas. Midnight Mass. What in the world is that about, man? Don't y'all know that that's wicked as hell? Midnight Mass? All kind of demons in St. Patrick's Cathedral. You got all these idols and statues and stuff of so-called white people. With they have leprosy. I just read to you tonight what leprosy was, man. And you going in there, bowing down to them, putting the sign of death, of crossing yourself, and all that, talking about holy water. You don't know what's in that water, man. You're going to your enemies, man. You're going to the wicked of the earth, man. And you go in there to try to pray to the Most High. You must be out your mind, man. You got to be out your mind, man. Y'all ain't thinking clearly at all, man. Y'all got to get your act together, man. We working on getting our act together. We know we got to repent and turn back to the Most High and learn his laws and statutes and commandments, man. So I'll exit. Okay.
Come a little closer.
We're gonna be on the next brother, and I'm gonna say shalom and shalom to the brother. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. I don't know if everybody can hear me good. Yeah, I don't know. This screen is not.
Nah.
We're not gonna be able to get it too good.
Back a little more.
Coming on. These brothers right on time, man. That brother's right on time, man.
We're trying to get this right. Hey, sit back. Come through.
They still hear me?
All right, we're gonna try to make it happen. I think it's gonna open up a little better, but I'm gonna get over the screen a few times. Shalom, Mashbaka. Yeah.
Okay,
there
you go.
It's Priest Kalakaka, H.O.D.C, Salt Lake City.
That's me.
This is Sayer Shaquat. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah,
so you're gonna read for me today. I wanted to get into a few things about
That's me.
This is good right now, right? Let me see this.
Can't wait to see you up there.
Make sure this is playing correctly.
Shalom.
All right.
Shalom.
Yeah, I wanted to get in there. I don't know if y'all can hear me good.
Can you hear me?
Come.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I think I'm frozen actually. Yeah, it looked like I might be frozen.
Maybe refresh it.
Nah, it should be. Yeah, I'm about to get out. Boom, try to get back in, see what happens. All right, we on. It looked like we back up. All right. Yeah, so I wanted to get in a few things, you know what I mean, get into the starts of the origins of Christmas, basically. I know in the beginning, he went all the way back to Babylonian time. That's when it truly started, right? But where we get it from today, how it went over through time. Like, I'm gonna read a few articles real quick. This is did the Romans invent Christmas? right? A lot of stuff, everything, pretty much everything we do here in America comes from the Romans and Greeks. This is still the ongoing Greco-Roman society. That's why they teach us, they make sure that they teach us in schools Roman numerals. They make sure they teach us in schools Greek mythology and stuff like that. They make sure they teach us how the Romans and the Greeks governed and all that stuff, because this is the ongoing, the continuation of the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire was a continuation of the Greek Empire, right? So I'm going to read this real quick. This is, did the Romans invent Christmas? This is from historytoday.com, right? It said, did the first Christian Roman emperor appropriate the pagan festival of Saturnalia to celebrate the birth of Christ? Matt Salisbury weighs the evidence, right? Saturnalia was a holiday celebrating their god or their deity Saturn. Now, when you look at ancient Roman deities and the ancient Greek deities, they had the same exact deities, same exact stories, just a different name. And when it goes back to the Greeks, his name was Kronos. That's the father of Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, all them, Demeter, all them, right? In Rome, in Rome, they called him Saturn, which was the father of Jupiter, which is Zeus, Poseidon, Neptune, Hades, Pluto, so on and so forth, right? Demeter, Ceres, right? So I'm gonna read on. It says it was a public holiday celebrated around December 25th in the family home, a time for feasting, goodwill, generosity to the poor, the exchange of gifts, and the decoration of trees, right? Same thing y'all got going on now, right? It says, and grab me real quick, Jeremiah chapter 10, right? It says a time for feasting, goodwill, generosity to the poor, the exchange of gifts, and the decoration of trees. But it wasn't Christmas. This was Saturnalia, right? The pagan Roman winter solstice festival. But was Christmas Western Christianity's most popular festival derived from the pagan Saturnalia? The first century AD poet Gaius Valerius Catullus described Saturnalia as the best of times. Dress codes were relaxed. Small gifts such as dolls, candles, and caged birds was exchanged. So they talking about decorating the trees, talking about giving out gifts, right? It says, I'm gonna go on. It says Saturnalia saw the inversion of social roles. The wealthy were expected to pay the month's rent for those who couldn't afford it. And what we see now when it comes to jobs give out so-called Christmas bonuses. You feel what I'm saying? It says for those who couldn't afford it, masters and slaves to swap clothes, family households threw dice to determine who would become the temporary Saturnalian monarch. The poet Lucian of Samosata, AD 120 to 180, has the god Kronos, aka Saturn, say in his poem Saturnalia, during my week, the serious is barred. No business allowed, drinking and being drunk, noise and games of dice, appointing of kings and feasting of slaves, singing naked, clapping, and occasional ducking of corked faces in icy water. Such are the functions over which I preside. You know what I'm saying? So they having a big old good time, feasting, dancing around naked. Like, yo, these Romans was really disgusting people. We're gonna get into a lot of that too. I'm gonna go on. It says Saturnalia originated as a farmers' festival to mark the end of the autumn planting season in the honor of Saturn. Satis means sowing. Numerous archaeological sites from the Roman coastal province of Constantine, now in Algeria, demonstrate that the cult of Saturn survived there until the early 3rd century AD, right? Saturnalia grew in duration and moved to progressively later dates under the Roman period. During the reign of the Emperor Augustus, 63 BC to AD 14, it was a 2-day affair starting on December 17th. By the time Lucian described the festivities, it was a 7-day event. So it started with the on the 17th. At first, it was only a 2-day event, but by the time that this other by the time Lucian wrote it, he was talking about it was a 7-day event. It kept on getting bigger and bigger, right? It said changes to the Roman calendar moved the climax of Saturnalia to December 25th. So that was the last day. This is by the end, by the time they stopped celebrating it, right? It was till December 25th. So it started from December 17th all the way to December 25th. Around the time of the date of the winter solstice. We know that the winter solstice usually, I think on average, it actually comes around December 20th. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it came around that time, the winter solstice, right? I'm going to read on. It says, from as early as 217 BC, this is 217 years before Christ supposedly walked the earth, right? He says there were public Saturnalia banquets. The Roman state canceled executions. Can you make sure we don't freeze up on here too?
Yeah.
He says the Roman state canceled executions and refrained from declaring war during the festival. Pagan Roman authorities tried to curtail Saturnalia because it was getting crazy out there. Like they was wilding. When you read other, I'm not going to all that stuff, but you read a lot of stuff that was going on. Like they was really wilding in them streets for Saturnalia. It says Emperor Caligula, AD 12 to 41, sought to restrict it to 5 days with little success. He was trying to get that back down, right? Emperor Domitian, AD 51 to 96 AD, may have changed Saturnalia's date to December 25th in an attempt to assert his authority. He curbed Saturnalia's subversive tendencies by marking it with public events under his control. So he tried to control it because they, like I said, they was getting wild in the streets. So he tried to get it all under control. And he said he's gonna make it December 25th. That's it. The poet Thesis, AD 45 to 95 AD, in his poem Sylvae, describes the lavish banquet and entertainments Domitian presided over, including games which opened with sweet fruits and nuts showered on the crowd and featuring flights of flamingos released over Rome. Now we gotta keep this in mind. All this was going on before all this was going on way before Yahushua was even born, right? He said, released over Rome, shows of fighting dwarves and female gladiators were illuminated for the first time into the night. So they had dwarves fighting each other. They had women gladiators fighting, right? And it says the conversion of Emperor Constantine to Christianity in AD 312, and this is the emperor that everybody tries to say, really push to Christianity. But we know when you look deep in his history, Constantine actually worshipped Mithra. This is a known fact. This was proven. You feel what I'm saying? He worshipped Mithra, and supposedly he came into Christianity, but he tried to merge to try to combine the two, right? But it says the conversion of Emperor Constantine to Christianity in AD 312 ended Roman persecution of Christians and began imperial patronage of the Christian churches. So around this time, this is when they supposedly stopped persecuting the Christians, which was Israelites at that time. You know what I mean? Actually, the
screensaver is on.
Okay, so
The feed went off.
let's see. Get us another try. Okay, now we back on. That was me messing with it. Con. Now we back on. Now how do I? This right here, boy. This is aggravating. But yeah, my fault, everybody. Yeah, if we can get that down. My fault, everybody. You know, technical difficulties. Wi-Fi over here today. It's been acting up for a few days. I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna go back into what I was just saying. It says the conversion of Emperor Constantine to Christianity in AD 312 ended Roman persecution of Christians and began imperial patronage of the Christian churches. But Christianity did not become the Roman Empire's official religion overnight. Dr. David Gwynn, lecturer in ancient and late antique history at Royal Holloway University of London, says that alongside Christian and other pagan festivals, the Saturnalia continued to be celebrated in the century afterwards. So well after so-called they accepted Christianity, well after they did that, it's looking all good.
Yeah,
all right. Well after they accepted Christianity and all that, they were still celebrating Saturnalia. This is before anybody even thought of Christmas or celebrating Christ's birthday, right? Shalom. It says, I'm gonna read on. It says, the poet Ambrosius
You want to read?
Theodosius Macrobius wrote another Saturnalia describing a banquet of pagan literary celebrities in Rome during the festival. Classicists, Shalom. Classicists date the work to between AD 383 and 430. So it describes a Saturnalia alive and well under Christian emperors, right? It says Christian. Yeah, I needed something. I know my computer is bad. It says the Christian calendar of Palemus Silvus, written around AD 449, mentions Saturnalia, recording that it used to honor the god Saturn. This suggests it had been by then became just another popular carnival, right? So we see that it's the start of it, and they knew that during that time, that the whole start of it was during the time was to celebrate their deity Saturn, which they did child sacrifice. Like Saturn was a disgusting deity, right? I'm gonna read on. It says Christmas apparently started like Saturnalia in Rome and spread to the Eastern Mediterranean. The earliest known reference to it commemorating the birth of Christ on December 25th is in the Roman Philocalian calendar of AD 354. So they didn't try to put that birth date to Christ until 354 AD. Provincial schisms soon resulted in different Christian calendars. The Orthodox Church in the Eastern Byzantine half of the Roman Empire fixed the date of Christmas at January 6th, commemorating simultaneously Christ's birth, baptism, and first miracle. So the Orthodox Church, they do it on the 6th, January 6th, right? So I'm gonna read on. It goes where was I at? Salakia. Saturnalia has a rival contender as the forerunner of Christmas. This is what I really wanted to get into, right? The festival of Dies Natalis Solis Invicti, right? Remember that Sol Invicti. I know y'all heard Sol Invictus, right? This is matter of fact, I'm gonna read on. It's gonna go into that. Birthday of the Unconquered Sun. The Romans been worshiping the sun god. We got that when it came to Nimrod and Babylonians, the Egyptians, all these other nations worship the sun god. So during this time, it says the contender for a forerunner of Christmas on December 25th during the latter Roman Empire, they was worshiping the sun god, right? It says the is the birthday of the sun god, festival of Deities, Natalis, Solis, Invicti, birthday of the unconquered sun. Why during the December 25th they say that's when the sun start coming back up. Like it goes down, it gets more and more how you say like it gets darker longer. It gets darker longer, and then December 25th is supposed to be the day when it starts actually getting less darker. It starts to rise back up, right? If I made that any cloud, I might mess that up a little bit. It's good.
Where you reading from?
I'm reading on I'm on this is a website, historytoday.com, right? But I'm gonna go on. It says the Philocalian calendar also states that December 25th was a Roman civil holiday honoring the cult of Sol Invicta, right? With its origins in Syria and the monotheistic cult of Mithras. That's who Constantine used to worship. He was a Mithra worshiper, the sun god, right? We're gonna see how that became so popular. Sol Invicta certainly has similarities to the worship of Jesus. The cult was introduced into the empire in AD 274 by Emperor Aurelian. This is 214 to 275, right? This is over 200 years before Christ lived, who effectively made it well actually this is AD 214 to 275 AD. So this is before they even 100 years before they even thought of celebrating the birthday of Christ, right? Who effectively made it a state religion, putting its emblem on Roman coins, right? Go down. It says Sol Invicta succeeded because of its ability to assimilate aspects of Judah and other Jupiter and other deities into its figure of the Sun King, right? So they worship the Sun King and they use all the aspects of Jupiter and Saturn and all the other deities that they had, their main deities, and put that into that Sun King, reflecting the absolute power of divine emperors. But despite efforts by later pagan emperors to control Saturnalia and absorb the festival into the official cult, the Sol Invicta ended up looking very much like the old Saturnalia. Constantine, the first Christian emperor, was brought up in the Sol Invicta cult. Again, he was known to be I called this earlier. I'm reading History Today. It says, did the Romans invent Christmas? This the article, right? And it says who brought up in the Sol Invicta cult and what was by then already a predominantly monotheistic empire. It is therefore possible, says Dr. Gwynn, that Christmas was intended to replace this festival rather than Saturnalia. So all that was adopted into each other. I'm gonna get another website real quick. I'm gonna leave this one alone. But Constantine, like I said, was a well-known worshiper of Mithra. When he supposedly got into that Christianity, he tried to combine the two. Right? So right here, this article right here, this is called Merry Christmas, Saturnalia, or Festival of Sol Invictus, right? This is off the Newman Times Herald, right? I'm reading. It says, in a matter of days, real quick, before I even start this, read that scripture. I know brothers went into the scripture earlier, but we're going to read this off the simple fact of what we read in the last one in the beginning. I'm going to go back to it real quick. Give me a sec.
Okay, this is the
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Remember, I read before. It said in the last one I read, did the Romans invade Christmas? It said it was a public holiday celebrated around December 25th in a family home, a time for feasting, goodwill, generosity to the poor, the exchange of gifts, and the decoration of trees. But it wasn't Christmas. This was Saturnalia. You know what I mean? So we see that decorating of the trees and all that. All right. We should be back on. Most High willing. Okay, Con. Yeah, select everybody. My Wi-Fi today is acting up over here. But we should be back up. I'm gonna read on.
You're not on yet.
Huh?
You're not on yet.
He just said, yeah. He said he seen me. But it says I'm live.
Oh, that's my fault. Then. Yeah, you good.
Con. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back on. I'm gonna go back. Actually, he was reading. Read that for him real quick. Jeremiah chapter 10.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 from the top.
Uh-huh.
Hear ye the word of the Most High, speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Now the Most High told us, he said, yo, make sure you're not following after the heathen. If you celebrating Christmas, you following after the heathen. That was never our custom. And as we're gonna read on, like even birthdays, celebrating birthdays of deities and things like that was never our custom. That was always something that the heathen did. Right? You can read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
He said the heathen are dismayed at the signs of the times, right? Read on.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
He said the customs of the people are vain, right? They're worthless. They don't mean nothing. Like we shouldn't be doing that, right? Read on.
For one cutteth a tree out the forest.
The one cut up the tree, like what we just read, and Royals that celebrate Christmas got that Christmas tree in their house. He said one cut up a tree out of the forest, right? Read on.
The work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. That they deck it out. They deck it with silver and gold.
Like I know everybody that celebrate Christmas always had that. They had the lights and balls and them silver and gold tinsels around it. I used to celebrate Christmas. I know. Had them tinsels going around that tree, right? Deck it with silver and gold. We always had silver and gold too. That's crazy. Right?
Gold. They fasten it with nails with hammers that it can't move, that it moves not.
Right, they fasten it down. That's that tree stand. This is the same thing that these Romans was doing during Saturnalia. That comes from that holiday, right? And of course, like I said, and I went into it earlier, that really was ancient. Like this is way before Jeremiah was written during the time of the Babylonian captivity. Jeremiah was during what was it? Something. Give me a sec. I know I got it written down somewhere here. Jeremiah was written between 630 and 580 BC. Between 630 and 580 BC. So this is over 500 years before Christ was even born. This is before the Roman Empire. This is before the Greek Empire was doing anything. This is during the Babylonian Empire. You feel what I'm saying? That he wrote this. He's saying, yo, don't celebrate this holiday that they doing, right? But read on.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 5. They are upright as a palm tree, but they speak not.
He said they upright as a palm tree, but they speak not. And during the Babylonian times and Egyptian times, they used to use a palm tree. Then once the Nordics and the Romans and Greeks, they the ones who started using the fir tree. Is it the fir tree? The evergreen pine tree or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Right? But read on.
Jeremiah 10, verse 5. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
He said, be not afraid of them. It's sad that he even had to tell us, don't be afraid of them, because they really was worshiping this thing. They was like, yo, if you don't give gifts to this tree, then they felt that you was going to be killed or something was going to happen to you because you wasn't worshiping Nimrod and Tammuz. You feel what I'm saying? So the Most High had to let us know, like, don't be scared of them. They can't do nothing. That's the customs of the heathen are vain. Right? You could drop that. I'm gonna read this real quick. This is called again, and I hate saying it. It's Mary Follymas. I'm gonna say it like that. Saturnalia, or Festival of Sol Invictus. This is off the Newman. This is off the Newman Times Herald. Right? And I'm gonna read it. It says, oh, what happened? Okay, it says, in the matter of days, millions of families will gather to celebrate Christ's birthday, a birth that we have been taught supposedly occurred specifically on December 25th. What did it really? But did it really? The answer will not necessarily is the answer will not necessarily central to the Christian faith. Isn't quite so simple. For one, the Gospels fail to disclose when Jesus was born. Although the Gospel of Luke mentions shepherds and sheep at the time of the Nativity, which imitates a springtime birth, which is correct. The fact that the Gospels authors choose not to include a date shouldn't be viewed as a glaring oversight. Real quick, grab Luke chapter 2. We're going to start there from the top because the scriptures actually, the Gospels actually let us know exactly when Christ was born. It don't give you an exact date, but it tells you the time, and it was not the winter. Like you said, it's springtime birth with the shepherds and the sheep, the nativity scene, but it also lets you know when we read this, you can start from the top.
Right now, ready?
Come.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 2 from the top. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus.
Right, so this is during the time of Caesar Augustus. We know that he was born. Right, he said there's a decree that went out from Caesar Augustus, right? We don't.
That all the world should be taxed.
That all the world should be taxed. Now, of course, we know this ain't the whole wide world. This is the world that the Romans had control over. So he's saying all the world shall be taxed, right? Read.
And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
Okay, so it's giving you a time period. Cyrenius was governor over Assyria. Now, the Romans did their taxing the same exact way America taxed now. They tax during the springtime. Like, when's the last time that you be getting your taxes now? Or April, right? April. That's during the springtime. The Romans did it the same exact way. Why? Because they didn't want to risk people not making it there to give them that money during the wintertime, because the wintertime would get real cold. So everybody had to travel to their birthplace, their place of home where their families are from, to pay their taxes, right? We're going to see that as we read on. Read on.
This is Luke chapter 2. I'm on verse 3. And all went to be taxed, everyone in the city, in his own city.
So everybody had to go to their own city, right? Read.
And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth.
Right, because we know that at that time he lived in Nazareth. At that time, Yahushua grew up in Nazareth. So he had to leave Nazareth, right? Read.
Into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem.
He had to go back to the city of David, Bethlehem. Why?
Because he was afraid of the house.
No.
Salakia. Oh, because he was of the house and lineage of David.
Because he was the house and lineage of David. I know Yahweh had touched on this earlier. You feel what I'm saying? Because he was the house and lineage of David. He was he is the direct, come from the direct line of King David. And he would have actually sat on the throne if Herod wasn't sitting on the throne. Herod was an Edomite. He wasn't even supposed to be on the throne. The Romans gave him that position. You feel what I'm saying? The natural king at that time, by birth, would have been Joseph.
I caught that.
You feel what I'm saying? Read on.
This is Luke chapter 2, verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, be great with child.
Being great with child. That means she was in her third trimester, ready to give birth. This is during the springtime. She was ready to give birth. And during this time, while they was getting taxed, what happened? Read on.
Verse 6, Luke chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that while they were there,
while they were still there in Bethlehem, right? Because the prophecy said Yahushua had to be born in Bethlehem. That's in Micah, right? But read on.
The days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
So she gave birth during the springtime when they was being taxed. So that's proof right there. Along going with the shepherds, with the sheep outside at night. You feel what I'm saying? To see the stars. Right? But I'm gonna go back on, you could drop that. That's good on that. I'm gonna go back to this, right? And it says again, this is let me go back up. This is the Newman Time Herald. It says Mary, Folimus, Saturnalia or Festival of Sol Invictus. Right? I'm gonna go back to where I was reading, and it says the fact that the Gospel's authors chose not to include a date shouldn't be viewed as a glaring oversight. It shouldn't be. Why? We're gonna read on. Contrary to Roman practices, I'm gonna say it again. Contrary to Roman practices, Jews and early Christians at the time didn't place much importance on birthdays. Why? Because we didn't celebrate birthdays. That was a heathen custom. The Romans were celebrating birthdays. That's why they took that so serious. We didn't do that, right? It says, contrary to Roman practices, Jews and early Christians at the time didn't place much importance on birthdays. Rather, celebrating God's birthdays seemed like a distinctly pagan activity to many early church leaders. So they wasn't even thinking about Christ's birthday, right? I'm going to go down. Nevertheless, following many years, Christians began debating when Christ was born. Many years later, this is during the Roman, during Constantine's time and so on and so forth. This is like 300 years after Christ even was born, right? It says, and they produced a slew of dates, including some in January, March, April, May, November, and of course, December. While to this day, the Armenian Church celebrates Christmas on January 6th, the bulk of Christians have settled on December 25th. But why? There are a few schools of thought. We're going to see what they say. It says, for some faithful, they certainly believe that December 25th was, in fact, the date of Christ's birth. Why? Because people just tell them that, they go with it. The pastor told them, pastor said it, so hey, that is what it is, right? But it says, end of story, right? While it is possible that this date is accurate, which is not, we just read it's not accurate, academics have preferred other theories, including that December 25th was chosen to coincide with pagan celebrations or because of a kind of metaphysical matter. According to one popular theory, early Christians had no idea when Christ was born. They wasn't celebrating that. So they simply assimilated the pagan solstice festival for their own purposes, claiming it as the time of the Messiah's birth and celebrating it accordingly. According to biblical archaeology, they may have done this to co-opt some of the pagan festivities to either attract new adherents, so they either did that to just get new people into the Christian faith, or supplant the pagan religions altogether, or they probably just tried to take over and say, listen, this is our day now. We're going to take this day. Alternatively, Christians may have done so to help them blend in as they celebrated their Savior, while also avoiding detection during times of persecution. So he's saying they might have did this and said, okay, we're going to do this to celebrate our Savior instead of celebrating Saturnalia and Sol Invictus, so that everybody don't look at us as, like we're not one of them. You feel what I'm saying? It says, whatever their reasoning, some believe the Christians placed Christmas on a joyous December Roman holiday known as the Saturnalia, which the Roman poet Catullus called the best of times. We just read that in the other one. The Saturnalia celebrated the god Saturn. So if you celebrating Christmas and you celebrating Saturnalia, you celebrating the god Saturn. Point blank, period. That's not nothing to do with Israel. That's nothing to do with Christianity. None of that. Right? It says, and during a festival, Romans ate and drank to excess. So they was being gluttons. They was getting drunk, which everything that the scriptures tell us not to do. Right? Slaves sat at the master's table and were served by their owners, and the Romans exchanged small gifts, again with the gift giving, some of which were probably a little inappropriate to modern eyes. Why? Because they were some nasty bastards. And Romans was disgusting. He said these gifts were inappropriate to modern eyes, and the modern people, now, they giving out, I don't even want to say type of stuff they doing, but America is disgusting now. So imagine what they was doing then. He said, after all, many of the ancient Romans were so perverted that they would have landed on Santa's naughty list. They was very perverted. Like the Romans was very big on homosexuality. This is known fact. Homosexuality. They was big on pedophilia. That was well known. It was nobody looked down on that. And it was big on they was big on bestiality. Them Romans was they just gave into all their lust. Everything that they wanted, they did it. They was disgusting like that. It said, aside from this, the problem with the theory of Christians placing Christmas on the Saturnalia is that the ancient festival lasted from December 17th to 23, not December 25th, which is not true. It started December 17th to December 23, but later on it went all the way past December 25th, right? I'm going to read on. It says, if the Christians didn't choose the Saturnalia, then the festival of Sol Invictus is a tempting alternative, right? Around 274 AD, Emperor Aurelian set December 25th, the winter solstice, of the time for the celebration of Sol Invictus, who was the unconquered sun god. Again, going to the worship of the sun, right? A marginal note on a manuscript of the writings of the Syriac biblical commentator Dionysius Bar Salibi states that in ancient times, the Christmas holiday was actually shifted from January 6th to December 25th so that it fell on the same date as the pagan Sol Invictus holiday. Reads an excerpt from biblical archaeology. But again, we know that Christ wasn't born in January. He was born in the springtime. Could early Christians have chosen December 25th to coincide with this holiday? The first celebration of Christmas observed by the Roman Church in the West is presumed to date to 336 AD. So this is almost 100 years after they was really worshiping Sol Invictus. Per the Encyclopedia Romana, long after Aurelian established Sol Invictus festival, however, there's evidence that some Christians recognize December 25th as Christmas in the 200 ADs. They can't prove that. They could say that all they want. I ain't seen nothing like that. So it is possible that the December 25th Christmas may have predated Aurelian's Sol Invictus holiday, although the worship of some form of sun god in Rome was far more ancient than Christianity. It always had a sun god. Always had a sun god. Right? And that's it on that. I ain't gonna go into much more. But let's grab up real quick. First Peter's. Give me First Peter's chapter 5, verse 8. First Peter chapter 5, verse 8. We're gonna get into these scriptures because we gotta be strong. Right now, we in the end. We at the end right now. It's the last days, and we gotta be very strong and realize when we are being attacked by demons and what the devil got planned for us, right? First Peter chapter 5, verse 8. And when you get there, you call it and read it. We gotta be very strong and we gotta be paying attention to what's going on. Right? A lot of people get I know jobs be bringing in food for, they say, the holiday season. Don't eat that. Do not eat that. That food is dedicated to idols, and by you doing that, you're actually worshiping those idols. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay far away from it. Anybody got it?
First Peter
chapter 5.
5 verse
8.
First Peter chapter 5 verse 8.
Make sure you read loud so to make sure they catch you.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil is a roaring lion that walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
Our adversary, the devil, you could say it's a white man, you could say it's the spiritual demon Satan, is a roaring lion trying to devour the saints of the Most High God. He's a roaring lion trying to devour the saints of God, right? So what we do, read on.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
We got to realize that, what we go through is not just unique to us. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody that's in this walk right now is going to go through it. You're going to go through it. I know, especially brothers that's new to it, got the family trying to push that Christmas stuff and all these holidays. Oh, come. This is the only time we can all get together. No, I don't want to see you this time. That's how I feel. I don't even want to see you around this time. You got that spirit on you. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta make sure that we stay sober, stay vigilant, because we we looking for this crown. You feel what I'm saying? And if we fall off, like, come on, you want to die a horrible death. None of us want that. Right? He said, be sober, be vigilant, because our adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he may devour. He's trying to devour us. Let's grab Revelation chapter 12. 12, we're going to 12 and 12. You call it and read it.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore rejoice ye, heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth
Mm-hmm.
and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
We seen all this going on. They pushing up these vaccine mandates and all these different things. The devil knows he got a short time. He knows he got a short time, so he's gonna try to take out as many Israelites as possible. He's trying to bring down. You know how they say misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? Misery loves company. He knows that he's gonna go. He's trying to take as many people as he can with him. You know what I mean? So we gotta make sure that we stay sober and vigilant, and we stay strong in this truth. We gotta get our faith up, right? Get 2 Corinthians chapter 6. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 14. Right? You calling to read it.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, be not unequal yoked together.
Right. So we don't, well, keep on.
With unbelievers.
Right. Now we know during this time, like everybody, we're growing. Israel is growing, but we're around a whole bunch of wicked people every day. They're in our jobs, family, all that. People that's unbelievers. It says, be not unequally yoked with these people. That don't mean, oh, you can't say what up to them, you can't go around them, but you want to be careful that you don't let them suck you into their lifestyle. You feel what I'm saying? He said, be not unequally yoked. You shouldn't just be chilling around people that's not believers, because their spirits, them demons that's on them is gonna rub off on you. You feel what I'm saying? He said, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, right? But read on.
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?
Yeah, why we gonna be around unrighteousness? You know, all their conversations gonna be nothing but wickedness. All their conversations gonna be nothing but wickedness, putting wicked thoughts in your mind. You feel what I'm saying? Right? Read on.
And what communion hath light with darkness?
Right? What communion have light with darkness? You can't have light with darkness. See, when you got light is supposed to outshine the darkness. How we supposed to be is when we walk into a room, you know what I mean, or you know what I mean, people see, they're supposed to see that light on us. They're supposed to see that light on us and know, okay, listen, I can't talk any type of way around this person. You feel what I'm saying? I can't get into anything because he's not going to engage in that conversation. You feel what I'm saying? That's how we supposed to be. You can't have light with darkness. Where the light shines, there's going to be no more darkness. So we got to let our light shine, right? Read on.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 15. And what concord have Christ with Belial?
Belial is it means Lord, right? But it's another name that they gave to devil, basically, a demon, right? It says, what does Christ have to do with the demons? Nothing, right? But read on.
Or what part hath he that believeth with in infidel?
The infidel, right? Those that believe. What part do they have with the heathen? What part do they have with people that think wickedly? No parts, right? We can read on.
Chapter 6, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And what agreement hath temple of the gods with idols?
What agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? We don't deal with idols. The Most High don't deal with idols. He never liked that. Shalom, everybody. I just got back to the chat, Salakia. Christmas, million, right, exactly. Having slight technical, Salakia for all that. Hopefully everything is going on smoothly now, though. But yeah, it says, what? Read that part again, Salakia.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. And what agreement had the temple of the Most High with idols?
Right. Most High don't deal with idols. He tells us stay far away from them. He tells us don't deal with them. Don't bow down to them. Don't make no images. Don't eat of their foods. He tells us all this. There's no agreement with the idols and the temple of the Most High. We supposed to be the temple of the Most High, meaning we supposed to stay far away from all these idols. Anything that deal with idols, like for instance Christmas, right?
For ye are the temple, for ye are the temple of the living God, and the Most High hath said, I will dwell in them.
Right. We are that temple. So we're not supposed to have. We're supposed to be walking around as we're supposed to be an example to everybody else, right? Read on.
And walk in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be their power, and they shall be my people.
And we know this is talking to Israel. Most High said he's the God of Israel. Israel is his people. But we have to move on accord and be like the Most High. Be like his people. Follow his ways, right? But read on.
Verse 6:17.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore came out from among them,
Mm-hmm.
and be ye separate.
He said, come out from among them. We're not supposed to be amongst them. Now, Paul wrote this. Paul is writing to the church of Corinth right here. That was in Greece. In Greece, they were celebrating all this stuff. They were celebrating Saturnalia. They was calling him Kronos, but they were celebrating that over there. You feel what I'm saying? This is who Paul is talking to. He's letting them know, like, yo, you're not supposed to be a part of what they doing. We supposed to be separate. He said, come, you wherefore come out from among them, right? Read.
And be ye separate.
And be separate. To be holy. Holy in Hebrew, Quadash, means to be set apart. Right? So we're supposed to be separate from everybody else. Read.
Say the Most High, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
And it says the Most High. The Most High said that. Now, where did the Most High say that? See, here's the thing, too, and we always go into this. When you read Paul, if you don't know the Old Testament, you shouldn't even touch Paul. Because right now, Paul is actually quoting somebody. He's quoting Isaiah. Let's grab that real quick. Isaiah 52. Yeah, I want you to stay there because we're going to finish up on that. Somebody else grab Isaiah 52. Isaiah 52, verse 11. I might actually
Isaiah 52, verse 11.
Give me a second. Matter of fact, I might actually start to look it up more. Nah, that's good. That's good.
Isaiah 52, verse 11. Depart ye, go ye out from thence. Touch no unclean thing.
This is exactly what Paul was just saying. He said, depart. You got to get away from them, right? Go out thence. Be separate, right? Read.
Go ye out of the midst of her. Be ye clean. Be bare the vessels of the Lord.
He said, be there, the vessels of the Lord. Touch no unclean thing. Go ye out the midst of her. Be ye clean that bear the vessels of the Lord, right?
Isaiah 52, what?
That was Isaiah 52, verse 11. Yeah, so that's what Paul is actually quoting right there. Paul, I swear, I kid you not, I want to say almost every chapter he's quoting somebody.
Wow.
Almost every chapter he's quoting. Sometimes he's quoting like 3-4 different people back to back. You feel what I'm saying? Different scriptures and all that. So if you don't know the Old Testament, you shouldn't even touch Paul. You feel what I'm saying? But he's quoting Isaiah right now. He says, now read that again, verse 6.
This is 2 Corinthians, verse 6, chapter 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Most High.
And we're going to find the words of the Most High and the prophets. So whenever you hear Paul saying stuff like this, you know, let it be known he's quoting the prophets, right? But read on.
Saith the Most High, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Right? He said, I will receive you, right? Read on.
18. And I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Most High, thy power.
And he said, if we stay away, separate ourselves from the unholiness that's going on, and touch not the unclean thing. Idols is an unclean thing. Food sacrificed to idols is an unclean thing. Regular foods, you know, they got that Christmas ham on that table right now. They got that Christmas ham. Like, you're not supposed to be around none of that. Pardon me. He said, touch not the unclean thing, and then the Most pardon me, then the Most High will receive us, right? We grab on Romans chapter 13. Romans chapter 13, verse 11.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
It is high time for us to wake out of sleep. We know the time. We seeing what's going on. Like I swear, I kid you not, yo, I'll be so excited because I know we are here. We is at the end. Most times about to send fire upon this place. You feel what I'm saying? But I want to make sure that I get, raised up amongst my brethren. And I know we should all have that feeling. We should all feel like that. We want to be able to be saved out of this place. Right? He said, read that from the top.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time that now it is time to wake out of sleep.
Right, we don't.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Our salvation is very close. So right now we supposed to be going extra hard. We can't be giving in. I done seen, and the reason why we even going into all this, like I done seen, there's a family. I seen somebody put the pictures up. There's a family that's claiming they Judah. You know what I mean? Black family. You seen it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody got Christmas sweaters on. They got a Christmas tree in the background. Yeah. Yeah. People is like they it's sad. It's sad. A lot of our people, they claiming that they Israel.
I don't have it.
Being lukewarm. They claiming that they Israel. You know what I mean? And they following after these heathen customs.
It's funny because I was on Instagram earlier today and I seen one of our sisters that I for sure thought was all the way locked in. She's flashing herself, and behind her is a big old Christmas tree. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like our people, they like to dibble and dabble. You feel what I'm saying? They're not taking this as seriously as they should be. Dealing with anything with Christmas is unclean. Anything with Christmas is against the law. Anything with Christmas is idolatry. Thus saith the Most High, right? Yeah, we can see that. Show this brother real quick. Yeah, Taina Grant, Tribe of Judah. They got the whole Christmas thing in the background. Look, wow. But they claim to be Tribe of Judah. Wow. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Our people need to get their act together, man. This is the reason why we in captivity in the first place, right? But yeah, keep on reading that. I want you to grab Luke 9.
Okay, Romans.
Luke 9.
62. Romans chapter.
You're on 13.
Chapter 13, verse 11.
Actually, chapter 13, verse. Yeah, read 11 again.
And that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
Now is our salvation nearer than we believe. It's time for us to wake up and put away all that wickedness. Right? Read on.
Verse 12. The night is far spent.
The night is far spent. Our people been living in night for a long time, that darkness. It's far spent, meaning it's almost over. Right? The daytime is coming, right? Read.
The day is at hand.
The day is at hand. That's when we get delivered. That's when we get in our salvation, our kingdom, right? Read.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
We got to cast off the works of darkness. Christmas is a work of darkness. New Year's, a work of darkness. Halloween, Thanksgiving, all these days that these people is pushing on us is a work of darkness. We're supposed to stay far away from that. Right? Read on.
And let us put on the armor of light.
The armor of light, them Lord's statutes and commandments. Right? Read on.
Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness.
Not in rioting and drunkenness.
Oh, rioting.
Right. And we just seen that. That's the big thing on Saturnalia. That was their thing. Rioting and drunkenness. Rioting mean they going crazy in the streets, and drunkenness, getting drunk. That was the law of Saturnalia. Right? But read on.
Not in chambering and wantonness.
Wantonness is like sexual desire, sexual look. But they had them running around naked in the streets. This is what y'all worship. They singing and clapping naked. We just read that. Right? But read on.
Not in strife and envying.
But
put ye on the Lord Jesus Christ.
Put on the Lord, the Mashiach Yahushua, right? Read.
And make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
We're not supposed to fulfill the lust of the flesh. And that don't just go into sexual desires. That's mainly it. You feel what I'm saying? That's what the Romans did. But that's not just, it's the lust. You can lust after anything. And people is lusting after Christmas right now. They lust after women, especially our sisters. They lust after shellfish, some shrimp and lobsters and crabs and all that. You know what I'm saying? Sports. You can lust after sports. But I would go more so into putting going against the law. You feel what I'm saying? Like lusting after Christmas. They seeing this. We see people representing tribe of Judah, but they got that idolatrous tree in the background. You know what I'm saying? He said we got to cast off these lusts. We got to put off whatever your desire is. If it's going against the Most High, you shouldn't be dealing with it. That desire is wrong. You got to leave that alone. We got to cast off those lusts. He said, make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. We can't do that. We got to do what the Most High wants. Call that and read that.
You said Luke 48, huh?
Luke 9. Luke 9:62.
Oh, 62.
Okay.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 62.
Oh, Salaki, let them grab it real quick. I shouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm already here. I'm sorry.
That was my fault. I told you this real quick.
Luke chapter 9, verse 4.
Luke 9:62.
Luke chapter 9, verse 62, family.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, and Yahweh said unto him,
right?
No man having put his hands to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
Nobody that put their hand to the plow. When you put your hands to the plow, that's when you come into this truth, you take it, and you say, you know what, this is true, and I'm going to follow this. Put your hand to the plow, but you looking back like, yo, damn, they look like they having fun on Christmas. Damn, I want to join. You know what I mean? That's looking back. He said, yo, you doing that, you're not fit for the kingdom. You're not fit for the kingdom. We got to cast off that. We're supposed to look at it as like, yo, listen, I don't want that. Because all that's going to do is end up to my death. What I want is to make it to this kingdom. What I want is everlasting life. That's what we need. That's what we're supposed to be looking to. He said, nobody that put their hand to the plow, right? And read that again, matter of fact.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 62. And Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hands to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
Yahweh said, yo, you not worthy. You're not fit for the kingdom. If you still want a part of that Christmas, if you still want to eat that Thanksgiving turkey, you said, but my mom, she go down on that stuff, that sweet potato pie. No. You want to see us be out there on Times Square watching a ball drop? Yo, you is not fit for the kingdom. You is not fit, and we need to pray and fast that the Most High strengthen us where we get those desires and lust out of us, and we be able to go at this hard, go at this truth hard, right? Get real quick Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. Revelation chapter 3, verse 15.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, I know thy works. Thou art neither cold nor hot.
He said he knows our works, right? He knows our works. And he's just a specific people that he's talking to right here. He said he knows our works, that we neither cold nor hot, right? Read.
I would thou work cold or hot.
And the Most High is saying, yo, I'd rather you, but this is Yahweh Shah speaking, but he's speaking for the Most High. He says, yo, I'd rather you be either hot or cold. Like, I'd rather you either be all the way in this or all the way out of this. You can't be in here and still dabbling with worldly stuff. You can't do that, right? Read on.
Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm.
He said, because if you lukewarm, if you in here, you were halfway in here. You got, how they say, you got
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You riding the fence right now, right? Read.
And neither cold nor hot.
Neither cold nor hot. You're not all the way in, you're not all the way out. Read.
I will spew thee out my mouth.
That's a scary thing. Wow. You hear stuff like that. Most I say, yo, you playing around with it. Like, yo, I don't want you. He said, I will spew you out my mouth. He gonna spit you out like Flint. He said, I'm gonna spew you out my mouth, right, Reed?
Because thou sayest, I am rich.
Because people say, oh, I'm rich. They love their money. You know what I mean? Read. And a lot of people getting money nowadays too.
Yes.
All of them NFTs and Bitcoin mining and all type of scams going on and different things. A lot of people getting money out here right now. They like, oh, I'm rich. And I see a lot of so-called Israelites flossing online. Flossing that money like, yo, we get in the bag, this and that. Come on, man. Right? Read.
This is Revelations 3:17. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked.
He said, yo, y'all don't even realize.
Y'all
thinking the Most High is blessing you because you got this money. Y'all don't even got no fringes on. Y'all still celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. He's like, yo, you don't even realize that you're disgusting to the Most High. You feel what I'm saying? You're miserable and poor and blind and naked. You're naked because you don't have that covering of the Most High in His armor. You're blind, thinking that your money is gonna save you. As you living good, you driving a Benz. The women got their weaves done all the time. You know what I mean? Nails done and all that. You thinking you good, right? He said, nah. You naked. You're miserable. You're poor. You're really poor. You think you're rich, but you're really poor because this kingdom is not coming. Right? But we don't.
This is Revelations. This is 3. That was verse 17. I'm reading 18 now. And I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
He said, say that again. It's like, I counsel thee to buy me gold tried in the fire. Right?
That thou mayest be rich. And white raiment.
Right. He said, counsel us to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment. When you that gold tried in the fire, you get rid of all that impurities. That's how we become rich. That's how. It's got nothing to do with money. Right? Read.
That thou mayest be clothed, but the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
Right? Read.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
That's what we get when we keep these 4 statutes and commandments. He's going to clothe us. We're not going to be naked no more. He's going to clothe us with that white raiment, meaning that we're going to be pure. And you burn that gold tried in the fire. When we go through our trials and tribulations, that life of a poor lifestyle, when we go through all that, we become rich. We become that pure gold, right? Read on.
Revelation chapter 3, this is verse 19. As many as I love, I rebuke.
The Most High is letting you know. So those brothers that's out there that think, and this happens a lot, I know, and I had that same feeling, especially when I first came in here, right? When you going through it, you getting, what is that? That's somebody's phone?
Yeah.
That's probably downstairs. Yeah, he said, I had the same feeling too, that we getting rebuked by the Most High, because remember, you got to pay for all the sins you did. Galatians, somebody grab me, say right here, Galatians 6 and 7. We got to pay for the things that we did. You're not just going to get away with it. You feel what I'm saying? It's not going to be as bad, because in all actuality, we all worthy of death. We done all broke Sabbaths. We done all been adulterers, almost all of us. You feel what I'm saying? Been adulterers, you know what I mean? There's something that's worthy of death. You feel what I'm saying? But the Most High, when we come in here, we're not getting that death penalty right away. But He's going to make us feel it like, okay, you got to pay for it somehow, some way. You feel what I'm saying? Call it and read it.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked.
Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. What?
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
What you sowed, you're going to reap. You sowed sin, you're going to reap rebuke. You feel what I'm saying? If you sow sin, you're going to reap rebuke. Somebody said something?
What is that? Galatians what?
Galatians 6 and 7, right? But I want you to go back to where we was at. Revelation chapter 3, verse, what was we at?
19.
19, come.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 19. As many as I love, I rebuke.
So the Most High is rebuking you, that means He loves you. When you see a child doing something wrong, you're going to spank them so that they know not to do that again. That's why the Most High rebukes us. And it's sad because a lot of our people don't even realize what He's doing. You feel what I'm saying? They don't pay attention to that. They think, oh, the Most High don't love me, this and that. No, that's showing that He love you. Because if you able to just live a life of sin and He don't do nothing for you, that means He don't care about you. Like, it is what it is. You're not His child. I see a little white kid running around in the street acting up. I'm not saying that. Little badass kids. Slack it for my language. Little bad behind kids. You feel what I'm saying? But if it's my child, I'm gonna yoke him up. Like, what you doing? You feel what I'm saying? But read on.
Verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door. Oh, Salakia, let me go back to 19. I didn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 19. Mm-hmm. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Mm-hmm. Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
We got to be zealous for this word and repent. We got to repent. Repent meaning to change. That's to change your mind state. Not thinking that, the life of sin, but thinking to have a life of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? We read on.
Verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
And this is what Yahweh is doing. Every time we go out there, we teach, we spread this word. We're being used as a vessel from Yahweh Shah, and we're knocking on the door. Basically, we're knocking on the door, calling like, yo, come to the marriage. Yahweh Shah is calling you to bring you to the marriage. Come through, right? But what? Read on.
If any man hear my voice and open the door,
which all these brothers that's here with me right now, brothers that's online watching this, Most High willing, you know what I mean? They heard this and they opened the door, right? Read.
And I will come into him, and will sup him up.
Sup with him.
Sup with him, Salakia.
I mean, he'll eat with you, like he'll have dinner with you.
Right? And he with me.
Right. So that's a relationship right there. He said, yo, if you open the door, let me in. And we good. We say now, we eating together, breaking bread. You feel what I'm saying? Right? But read on.
Verse 22. Verse 21. Revelations 3:21. To him that overcometh, I will grant and sit with me in my throne.
He said, yo, those that overcome, if we get royalty, we become royalty, we'll be able to sit in his throne, right? Read.
Even as I also overcame.
Well, because Yahweh Shah, we got to remember, he's not telling us to do nothing that we can't do. Or he's not telling us to do nothing that he didn't already do. Because he had to go through that. He had to come over here. He went through it, was persecuted by his own people. You feel what I'm saying? He had to go through that. So he's like, yo, even as I overcame, you got to do the same thing, right? But read on.
And am sat down with my Father in his throne.
Right. So he got a gift. He got a blessing from the Most High because he overcame. So he like, yo, I'm going to do the same for y'all if y'all overcome. Right? Read on.
22. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
Right. So that's Yahweh Shah. He had an ear. He's like, yo, whoever here, take heed to what he just said, right? Let's get Revelation chapter 22.
14.
12, actually. We want to read 12. We go down to 14, but we want to read 12.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 12. And behold, I come quickly.
And we seeing it even more so now. Like he said, behold, I come quickly. We're not going to have a long time waiting here. It's not a long time where you're going to be able to get yourself right. You got to get yourself right now. He said, behold, I come quickly. Right, read.
And my reward is with me.
And he's coming with those crowns to give them out to whoever overcome. He's coming with those crowns. He said, behold, he come quickly and his reward is with him. That's that kingdom. You know what I mean? Out of slavery. Don't have to worry about no hardships no more. Not having to worry about waking up early to go to work, feeling all miserable. Like, I don't want to go in today. I can't call in because I got to pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have to worry about none of that no more. Right? We don't.
To every man according as his work shall be.
Right. He's going to give every man his reward according to as his work shall be. So if you ain't putting in no work, you shouldn't be expecting no crown. You shouldn't be expecting no reward if you're not putting it in. You sitting there just typing on a computer. Them keyboard prophets. I mean, like, I don't know, man. And they be teaching to their own people. They teaching to everybody that know the truth already. They not teaching to nobody new. You know what I mean? But you gotta be putting in the work though, regardless. Any way possible, you gotta be putting in the work. So I don't want to even put down the keyboard, the prophets. You know what I mean? But you gotta be putting in the work. Right? Read on.
This is Revelations 22:13. And he says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last.
That's how H.O.D.C speaking. He said Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. It's how, and this the Most High don't have no beginning, and the Most High don't have no end. He said he's the beginning and the last. He had a beginning. Yeah, H.O.D.C had a beginning. He's the beginning of all creation. Like, you know, that's how H.O.D.C speaking, right? But read on.
Verse 14. And blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed are they that do his commandments. This is the key right here to making it. Blessed are they that do his commandments, right? Read.
That they may have the right to the tree of life.
That they may have right to the tree of life, right? That you may be able to go make it to the kingdom. Be able to live forever, right? Right to the tree of life, read.
And may enter through the gates up into the city.
May enter into the gates of the city and have that beautiful light in Jerusalem. Right? Let's grab on 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12. All right, blessed are they that do those commandments, that they have right to the tree of life. See, you're not, remember, you come into this, you're gonna go through your hardships. H.O.D.C had to go through it. H.O.D.C got tortured for us.
1 Peter's what?
1 Peter chapter 4 verse 12. H.O.D.C got tortured for us. You know what I'm saying? So we can't expect to not go through nothing when we come in here like everything gonna be sweet. It's not. It's not. But remember what we just read too. He said the Most High rebukes those that he loved. You know what I'm saying? Which is a beautiful thing. Right? You call it a reading.
It's the book of, when you guys want to read it? Or?
Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
He says, behold, think it not strange.
Beloved.
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you.
He said, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you. Don't think it's strange, because there's going to be some strange stuff that happens. And it's going to be back to back. I know, we all go through it. We all like, yo, ain't no possible way. Like, again, God hates me. We all go through it. Damn, God hates me. Like, yo, what am I doing wrong? He said, yo, think not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you. You're going to be tried. He's going to see if you worthy of this. You feel what I'm saying? Right? But read on.
As though some strange things happening to you.
Right? You going to feel that way. You're like, yo, this cannot be possible. Like, yo, what's going on? Right? But read on.
But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's suffering.
That's how we supposed to be. When them times come, and they gonna come, you gotta rejoice, because H.O.D.C had to suffer. H.O.D.C, the Son of the Most High, he was sitting here. You feel what I'm saying? For us, if he had to go through it, you cannot expect not to go through anything. You can't. Right? He said, but rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's suffering. You're partakers of the suffering of the Mashiach, right? Read on.
That when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
When he comes back with that reward, that we'll be extra glad, because we get that reward. Because we stuck it out and went through it with him, we'll come back, and when he come back, we'll get that reward, right? Read on.
Verse 14. If ye be reproached for the name of Christ.
If you're going through it, especially for the name of H.O.D.C, because a lot of us come in this truth and spreading the real, true gospel, and our family, friends, all looking at us crazy, like, yo, this guy's in a cult. He's in a cult. He's bugging out. Or he's not even getting no lineups no more. You looking like a bum. We heard it all. We heard it all. You looking like a bum. You letting yourself go. What you into? You know what I mean? This is, if you are reproached for the name of H.O.D.C, right? Read on.
If ye be reproached for the name of Christ, H.O.D.C, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High rested upon you. So
he said the spirit of the Most High is resting upon you. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Spirit of the Most High. If you going through that, the Spirit of the Most High is resting upon you. Why? Because the world hates the Most High. They hate the Most High. They hate the Most High. They're going to have to hate you. You know what I mean?
It's that John, right?
Yeah. Right? But read on.
On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified.
Right? On their part, he's evil spoken of. They speak against the Most High. They speak against the true gospel. We all bring it out. Nah, God is all love. No, God got rid of the laws. He loved everybody, this and that. No, that's not biblical. When we come out of the Bible, oh, I don't want nothing to do. Yeah, I done had people say, yo, hold on, God don't like white people?
Yeah.
He say, yo, if God don't like white people, then I don't want no parts of that God.
Yeah, I heard that.
I done heard that many times. Many times. Out here in New York.
It's crazy.
But you know, that's a shame. Our people, they love Esau and love the other nations more than they love their own creator. Right? He says, so yeah, read on.
Verse 15. This is 1 Peter's chapter 4, verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters.
Right, because remember, he said, what you sow, you're going to reap. So if you suffering, let it be by the name of Christ, not because you're sinning or going against the Most High. Right, but read on.
Yet if any man suffer as Christian, let him be not ashamed, but let him glorify the Most High on his behalf.
Right, you got to glorify the Most High on his behalf. Right, read on.
Verse 17, 1 Peter 4, 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High.
And we seeing this. Judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. You look at what's going on in Venezuela, what's going on in Haiti, Mexico. You know what I mean? Our people all over. America. You know what I mean? Especially America, because everybody got their eyes on what's going on here in America. They see how the Judites, mainly the Judites, are getting slaughtered over here on camera. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole world see what's going on. The Most High sending his judgment out. Puerto Rico was getting hit constantly with earthquakes. Jamaica even got hit. Haiti getting hit bad. Mexico. Everywhere Israel's at, we going through it, right? He said his judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, right? Read on. And that's even with us when you think about it. It's really going into us, the ones that's actually following the Most High, too. You know what I'm saying? We going through it. We got to go through that struggle, some trials, right? Read on.
And if it first began at us,
if it begins with us, right? Read.
What shall the end of them that obeyed not the gospel of the Most High?
So if it starts with us, and we got to go through it. Imagine what everybody else got to go through. They gonna get hell. Most High gonna give them hell, right? Read on.
Verse 18, 1 Peter 4:18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved,
and the righteous are gonna scarcely be saved. Like we're gonna make it through the skin of our teeth. Most High willing, I'm part of that number. Most High willing, we all part of that number. But those that make it is gonna make it through the skin of their teeth, right? Read.
And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and sinner appear?
Right. If the righteous scarcely be saved, you know the ungodly and the sinner is not gonna be there. They're not gonna make it. Right? Read on.
Verse 19, 1 Peter 4:19. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of the Most High commit the keeping of their souls to him in well doing, as unto a faithful creator.
Right. So we gotta suffer according to the will of the Most High. You know what I mean? That he commits to our souls. We're gonna have to go through it. It's not gonna be a cakewalk. It's not gonna be a cakewalk. You're gonna have to go through it. But you're gonna have to prove yourself. If you got, and it's like this in the hood too, you got people that you know that ride for you, they've been down with you the whole time. You trust that person. That's your family right there. If you got somebody that you never seen get into nothing, like, yo, why you bringing him around me? You know what I mean? I don't trust him. He got to prove himself. Yeah. The Most High is the same way. We get that from the Most High. We get that from the Most High. It's a fact. Let's get on Acts 14.
That's a fact.
Let's get Acts 14. Acts 14, verse 22.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 14, verse 22.
Come.
And it reads, confirming the souls of the disciples.
Come. And that's us. We are disciples of the Most High. We are disciples of the Most High. We follow, and we disciples of Yahweh Shah, because we follow after the footsteps of Yahweh Shah. We're his students. You know what I'm saying? So they're concerning the souls of the disciples, right, Reed?
And exhorting them to continue in faith.
We got to continue in the faith, right, Reed?
And that we must through much tribulation into the kingdom of the Most High, that power.
Through
much
tribulation.
Yeah.
Through much tribulation shall you enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Through much tribulation. Again, it's not going to be no cakewalk. It's not going to be no cakewalk. We got to stand firm in truth, right? Let's get Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, and Apocrypha, chapter 2. Book of Sirach, chapter 2. You don't got a Apocrypha?
I have it on my phone.
I got an extra one here. I got to check. Let's see.
I was supposed to bring my other one too.
I think I gave my Apocrypha.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. You want to read it? Chapter 2, we start at verse 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1.
Read a little louder too.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
He said, if you come to serve the Most High, prepare your soul for temptation. You got to prepare, because you're going to be tempted. Out of nowhere, females going to be hopping in your inbox. You're going to know they married. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to get all type of temptations popping up out of nowhere. If you was a weed smoker, you're going to see people just coming giving you weed now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, your temptation's going to come out of it. Them demons is trying to get you. They know what they know what your vices are. They're going to work on them. They're going to pick at that. Try to get you to go against the Most High. He said, read that again from the top.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
We got to prepare our soul for temptation. Right? Read.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble.
We got to constantly endure. And when you endure something, that means it's not something fun. You don't endure something fun. You endure something that you're not liking, that you're hating. You know what I mean? You're enduring trouble. You're enduring pain. He said, constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble, man. Don't be quick to run away from it. Don't be quick to say, oh, F this and give up. Don't do that, right? Constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble, right? Read on.
Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away.
Cleave unto the Most High. That's what we got to do. When we come through our time of trouble, that's when we should be down on our knees, face to the ground, praying to the Most High. Yo, is this frozen?
No.
Okay. I guess my computer or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said, pardon me. He said, yeah, that's the time where we supposed to be on our knees, praying, fasting, you know what I mean? Everything to get back to the Most High or make sure that he keeps us. Ask him, yo, strengthen me and guide my footsteps that I walk in the way that you want me to walk into. You know what I'm saying? We got to cleave to the Most High and don't depart not away, right? Read.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That the Most High will increase us, that he'll give us that strength. He'll give us that strength and he'll help us to overcome any obstacles that we have in front of us, right? Read on.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Yeah, whatever's coming at you, you got to take that cheerfully. We got to know, like, you got to keep this in your mind, like, this is a test. We're being tested right now. We know if we pass this test, we good. That's one step closer to the kingdom. That's one step closer to that crown. That one step closer to royalty. You feel what I'm saying? Right? Read on.
And be patient when thou art changed to low estate.
Be patient. A lot of brothers, when they come into this truth, all of a sudden they lose all their money. They become homeless. This happens a lot.
Mm.
You got to take that. You got to, when you transfer to a lower state, you got to be patient and just constantly endure and the Most High is going to take you out. I kid you not, because it happened to me. I was homeless for a little while. You feel what I'm saying? Now, and when I came into this truth, I was going through it. I couldn't barely pay my bills, and I wound up becoming homeless. And now, like, I'm good. We're not worried about nothing, really. We're not worried about. I mean, we're not rich, and you know what I mean. But the Most High pulled us out of that. We're not worried about money. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it be. We got to constantly endure. The Most High would take us up out of those situations. Right? But read on.
Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire.
Gold is tried in the fire. Gold is tried in the fire. You don't want no garbage gold. You don't want no, I mean, you want pure gold. You want to burn. When you put that in that fire, which is all the trials and tribulations that we go through, that's how you get that pure gold. Pure gold. Ain't nothing worth more than pure gold. You know what I'm saying? They use pure gold for everything. You burn all those impurities off of that. That's what the Most High is turning us into, pure gold. So we're going to have to go through that fire. We're going to have to go through those trials and get all those impurities out of us.
He said, I'll make the man more precious than
fine gold of you fast. Facts. Right? Read on.
And accept, or so from the top. From gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Sorry.
Right? Acceptable men. He said gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity when you're going through your trials. That's what makes you a stronger man. That makes you a better man. When you see how low the lowest state when he put you in. When you come out of that, you coming out that better. Coming out that more mature. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Read on.
6. Believe in him, and he will help thee order thy way aright, and trust in him.
We got to believe in the Most High. We have to have that faith. Faith is very strong, very powerful. We got to have that faith that the Most High will deliver us out of whatever we're going through. We got to have that faith that he'll deliver us out of that. And he will. If you stay patient and you keep on going stronger. Every time you go through something, say, pray, fast, and you go extra hard for the Most High. He's going to deliver you out of that. Right? Read.
And ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy.
Right?
And go not aside, lest ye fall.
Yeah. Once you go aside, then you're gonna be, I can't find no better word for it, asked out. You know what I'm saying? I can't find no better word for it right now. But you go aside, like, you know what I mean? You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. You're not gonna. There's brothers that went aside in this truth and they was never the same again. I seen it personally. Mine's bugged out. Like, they talking all type of crazy stuff after that. There's brothers that leave this truth, they go out into the world, they ain't never able to come back in. That's sad. They not able to come back in. You feel what I'm saying? It's a rare occasion. Like me personally, I'm a prodigal son. I done came in at a young age. I came in at 17 and I left out by 18, 19 years old. And the Most High called me back. I got lucky. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people, when they walk out of here, they never come back. Right?
Like a precept would be like Amos 8 and 11, right?
Yeah, you can read that.
This is
You can definitely read that. The famine of the world.
Yeah. Okay. This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land.
Most High will send a famine. Now, this, what I was talking about, was more so for people right now. But this is coming, the famine of the world. And this is here, keep on reading.
Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water.
So this got nothing to do with food. We got that coming too, though. The famine of the food, the water, that's coming. But this...
But of hearing the words of the Lord.
There's going to be a time where the Most High brings us out of the streets. We're not going to be able to post videos up on YouTube, lives and all that stuff. We're not going to be able to go out and teach in the streets. Right? Read on.
Sorry, I pulled that up on my phone.
Yeah, just read it in your phone.
I know, but...
Where they got you out of there?
I'll finish it. This is Amos 8, chapter 12 was where he was about to finish, and it says, And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east.
Right. So people gonna be going all over looking for us. Oh, they can't find us on YouTube. They can't find us on Facebook. They can't find us in the streets. So they're gonna actually really be going around searching for us because they're gonna know that we was teaching the truth. When they see all these prophecies being played out, they're gonna know that the truth was being brought out, but they didn't want to hear it. Right? Read.
And they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Most High, and shall not find it.
And they're gonna run all over and not find it. It's gonna be too late for them. It's gonna be too late for them. We don't want to be parts of that. Ed, I actually want to keep you to keep on reading. We was at where you was at?
Chapter 2, the book of Shirach, chapter 2.
Verse 8?
Chapter 9, verse 9 or 8 or 9.
Yeah, read
8. Yeah.
Okay. Read 8 and 9, and then we got
chapter 8, or excuse me, chapter 2, verse 8. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
He said, believe the Most High, you shall not fail. Your reward shall not fail. You're gonna get that reward if you constantly believe on him. These are promises. Because a lot of people, they come in here and they be like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it, which I was one of those. I was definitely one of them. I'm like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? But if you constantly, he promises. The Most High is very merciful. He's promised. He's like, yo, you actually take this seriously, and you keeping his law, statutes, commandments, doing what he wants you to do, you'll make it. You'll make it. That's a promise, right? But read on.
Verse 9. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and everlasting joy and mercy.
Yeah, so that's what we hope for. We hope for that good, the everlasting joy and mercy, not being sad no more, not going through any trials and tribulations, anything of the sort. Right? Let's get Matthew chapter. Because the time is getting short. Let's get Matthew chapter 5, verse 3.
He said, it is a light thing. Who else talk like that? Said it's a light thing for you to do this.
Right.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 4.
Give us a second.
Oh,
one second.
Oh, yes,
Chapter, what was it? 4, 3?
5 and 3.
5 and 3.
All right.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs in the kingdom of heaven.
Blessed is the poor in spirit. This is a word from Yasharahla. He said, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is in the kingdom of heaven. Meaning they're going to have good spirits. They're not going to be poor in spirit in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Those that's going through sad times right now, I mean, that's in this truth. They're going to make it to the kingdom of heaven, right? Read on.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted.
He said, blessed are they that mourn. Those are going through their trials. They're mourning right now. You'll be comforted. These are promises. He's saying this is going to happen. You will be comforted, right? Read.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Blessed are the meek. Those is down. Those that don't do too much talking. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to inherit the earth, right? The ones that people try to bully sometimes or whatever. You know what I mean? They're going to inherit the earth, right? Read.
Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
Those that want this world, they want to live righteous, they will be filled. Right? Read.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Right? We got to be merciful amongst each other. Got to be slow to anger, slow to strife, and quick to forgive our brothers. He said, those that are merciful, they're going to obtain a mercy. Because remember, we all have death penalties on our rap sheet right now. We all got death penalties on our rap sheet. Most I say, you merciful with your brother, I'll be merciful with you. Right? Read on.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Those that really want this world. Pure in heart, the good people. Right? Read.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Blessed are the peacemakers. These is what yo, this right here strengthens me. This right here, I love this when I read this. Like this is one of my go-tos when I'm having hard time. Right? It said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Right? Read.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Those that going through it, being persecuted for keeping this word. because you want to keep the Sabbath, because you don't want to eat pork and shellfish, because you don't want to celebrate their holidays. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
He said, blessed are you. When you get people that come against you for this word, you're going to be blessed in the future. This is just something temporary. You're going to be blessed in the future, right? Read on.
Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven.
He said, great is your reward in heaven. That's going to be beautiful. He said, the Most High said he got stuff planned for us that no eyes have seen. Like, you can't even imagine what the Most High got planned for us. You know what I'm saying? But that's what our reward is going to be if we get persecuted for his name's sake. Right? Read on.
For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Right?
Ye are the salt of the earth.
He told us we the salt of the earth. We give this earth its flavor. Everybody want to be just like us. And that's every tribe. You got in England, them white people over in England, they want to be like Jamaicans. They want to talk like Jamaicans. You feel what I'm saying? In France, they want to be like the Haitians.
I know some like Polynesians. They try to talk like the islanders from like Jamaica and stuff like that. And it's like I told them straight up, I was like, bro.
And no Benji.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it be. Like in
like
Japan.
China try to be like Mexico with the cars
Japan.
and stuff.
Oh,
Japan.
Okay. Yeah, they got the big Chicano culture out there. Big Chicano culture out there in Japan. Like, everybody hates us. It's crazy. They want to be just like us, but they hate us. They hate us and love our culture. He said we are the salt of the earth. Like, we give this earth its flavor. We give the whole earth its flavor, right? Read.
But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Right, because we lost that savor, which is the commandments, which is following after the Most High and Yahushua. Right, read.
It is thenceforth good for nothing.
Right now we're good for nothing. That's why everybody hates us. They just want to keep our culture, and they want to kill us off. Right, read on.
But to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men,
which is what they do. There's not one place you could go where they don't got a derogatory term for the so-called blacks and Hispanics. Not one place. They hate us all, right? But read on.
Ye are the light of the world.
He said, we are the light of the world. Remember what we read earlier. We are the light of the world. We supposed to, where the light shines, you can't have darkness with its light. It's impossible. We got the lights on to shine up this whole area. Everywhere the light touches, it shines. There's no darkness there. He said, we supposed to be the light of the world. Everybody's supposed to go after us. They see us, they should know, like, okay, these are men of God. Right? We are the light of the world. Read.
A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid.
We are that city that's set on a hill. We can't be hid. Right? We don't.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick.
Right. Read.
And it giveth light unto all that there in the house.
Right. We can't tie that. We know this truth. We're supposed to shine. We're supposed to shine. But now you're not gonna take a candle, like he said, or take a light bulb and put it under a table or under your bed and leave it there. Nah. So it could just light up under your bed? Nah. You want to light up the whole house. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Supposed to be shining, right? Read.
Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right. We gotta let our light shine so they see our good works. They see, when I was in the shelter, right? I was staying in the homeless shelter, and I had two different people come up to me. I didn't talk to these people, nothing. But two different people came up at two different times and said, yo, I've been watching you. They both said the same exact thing, no lie. They say, yo, I've been watching you, and I know that you're doing something good. I see you be reading your Bible and all that. Like, yeah, I got to come study with you. This is no lie. Of course, they didn't stick around with it, but they came up to me and said it. So my light was shining in that shelter. You know what I mean? Me just being in there. I wasn't getting in the folly with everybody else. You know what I mean? They seen me in my Bible, and the fact that they just had to come up to me and tell me that, show me something. That made me feel real good. I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right there. You know what I mean? But let's get on 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. 1 Corinthians 4, verse 9. Let's see. 1 Corinthians 4, verse 9. And we can read down
This
to
is the book
14.
of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 9. For I think that the Most High have set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death, for we were made a spectacle
Spectacle.
unto the world and to angels and to men.
Right. We are made a spectacle. That means that word in Greek is theater. Like people is watching us. You come in this word, they watching you. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure that we moving on one accord and moving correct according to the scriptures.
Yeah, that's funny. For example, I want to give an example if you don't mind.
Yeah, do your thing.
I was on Instagram. I have a childhood friend I haven't spoke to in probably like 4 or 5 months, and I was talking about how dreads are against our customs. A lot of people may not know that, but dreads is against our customs. And one day out the blue, I called my friend and after I did that video, I called him probably 3 or 4 weeks later. The first thing he said to me, he was like, "I'm not cutting my dreads, bro. I see." He said, "I see you. I see what you're saying." He said, "I'm not cutting my dreads." I said, "Oh, you paying attention though? That's what's up."
Yeah, they watching. They watching. They might not say nothing, but they watching us. You feel what I'm saying? They watching. So we got to make sure that we're moving. Like he sees that. He sees what you're on right now. He knows, okay, you pushing this truth and you trying to get our people right. You know what I mean? They definitely watching us. Right? But yeah, you can read on.
And this is 1 Corinthians 4, chapter 10. We are fools for Christ's sake.
We are fools for Christ's sake. People look at us like, yo, these is fools. They look at us like that. Oh, they out there on the corners dressing like Power Rangers and all that stuff. They got their Halloween costumes on already. You know what I'm saying? We look like fools to them. You know what I'm saying? We look like fools to these people out there teaching. Hey, you going to hold the Bible and say the white man's the devil? How you doing that? You know what I mean? But we look like fools. We're made fools for Christ's sake, right? Read on.
But ye are wise in Christ.
We're wise. We are the real wise people in this world. We know the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth look like foolishness to foolish people. Right? But read on.
We are weak, but we are strong.
Right. They look at us as weak, you know what I mean? But we not really are strong. We got the Most High behind us. Right? Read on.
Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
But they look at themselves as honorable. You know what I mean? That they look at their pastor as honorable. Their pastor sleeping with the deacon's wife, maybe. You know what I mean? Sleeping with all the women in the church. The priest is molesting the little boys, the choir boys. But we're looked down as terrorists, and they look at us as, you know what I mean? Like we're garbage of the earth. We're thugs with Bibles. That's how they look at us. You know what I'm saying?
I told my daughter I'm a Bible extremist. She's like, Dad, I'm tired of hearing that.
That's how it be. I mean, they tired of hearing all that. But that's how it is. We are actually wise. We're looked at as unhonorable. How I said it? Despised. We're looked at as despised. You know what I mean? While everybody else is looked at as honorable, and they be some of the wickedest people. We actually follow the Most High. Right? But read on.
1 Corinthians, this is 4, and I'm on 11. Even until this present hour, we both hunger and thirst and are naked and are what's that?
Buffeted means to be like hit. Okay. Hit, attacked.
And I have no certain dwelling place.
Right. So he letting you know right now, like even right now, yo, we going through it. We're the ones through it. We hunger. No food, no water. We thirst. We don't have no clothes. We looking like, some people say, look like bums. You know what I mean? We get attacked, buffeted. You know what I mean? We have no certain dwelling place. A lot of us have to go homeless at a certain period of time. It happens a lot. You know what I mean? But he said what? Read on.
12. And labor, working with our own hands.
So we gotta
being,
work hard. We gotta go to jobs, you know what I mean, and barely able to pay the rent and stuff like that. Barely making it. Working till our fingers to the bone. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
being reviled.
Uh-huh.
We bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it.
Yeah, so he said being reviled, they hate us, but we're blessed by the Most High. He said being persecuted, they persecuted and we suffered. Right? Go on.
Verse, this is 1 Corinthians 4, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Being defamed, we entreat. We are, I can't go on. My eyes is getting blurry.
Yo,
I got you.
read
Go
that.
up to it.
All right. Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Being defamed, we inherit.
We
Entreat, sorry.
Uh-huh.
We are made as the filth of the world.
Right. Everybody looking down on us. Look at us like we feel. Right.
And are the offscoring of all things unto this day.
Yeah, they talk bad about us. Like you was telling me before, when you came in with your fringes on, they looking at you like you crazy in the job. Down on you. I mean, that's it is, right? But we don't.
I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you.
Yeah, so Paul was letting him know. Again, to the Church of Corinth, letting them know, like, yo, listen, this is what you're gonna go through. You're gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have to deal with it. It's what it is. But our reward is coming. I know I got about 4 minutes left. I don't know if somebody's coming right on.
Oh, it's not 8 to 11?
Nah, it was 8 to 10, 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab one more scripture real quick. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 12. For 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 12.
For the eyes of the Most High.
We're gonna read down to 18. See if we got some time. Try to speed through this.
My eyes is blurry.
First Peter.
I got my glasses.
You said 12?
Yeah. And we're gonna read down to 18.
1 and 12, right?
1 Peter 3 and 12.
3:12, my bad. All right. 1 Peter 3 and 12. Looking for and hasting unto the
No,
devil.
that's not first.
Yeah.
Oh, I was second. My bad. It's lucky.
I got it. This is book of 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous.
The eyes of the Most High are over the righteous. He's watching those that's keeping his commandments, right? Read.
And his ears are open unto their prayers.
He's hearing their prayers. Like we know that if you're not keeping his commandments, he tells you that in Proverbs. If you're not keeping his commandments, he's not hearing your prayers. Right? He said his ears are hearing their prayers of the righteous, right? Read.
But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
The face of the Most High is against those that do evil. You want to break the laws, you want to go against the Most High, his face is against you. Right? Read on.
And who is he that will harm you? If ye be followers of that which is good.
So that means like Most High controls everything. If you following after him, you shouldn't worry about nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Because nobody can touch you unless he give that okay. You know what I'm saying? So he said, yo, why you gonna be scared? He said, and what it said, and who is he that will harm you if ye be followers of that which is good? Like nobody can touch you. Nobody can do anything to you. Right? Read on.
14.
And if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled.
Yeah, if we go through anything and we know that we live in a righteous lifestyle and we going through it because we're living a righteous lifestyle, should be happy about that. Don't worry about nothing because the Most High is going to bless you for that.
So, precept, I think Isaiah 50 and 7.
What does that say?
For the Lord God will help me. Therefore I shall not be confounded.
Right.
Therefore have I set my face like a flint, and I know that I shall not be ashamed.
All praises. That's a fact. That's a good one. Right? But yeah, read on.
But sanctify the Lord God in your hearts.
And be constantly sanctify the Most High in our hearts and do what?
And be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of hope that is in you with meekness and fear.
That's how we're supposed to be. We gotta constantly be able to give an answer That's why I got to study, make sure that we able to give an answer on why we believe what we believe, why we feel the way we feel. You know what I mean? Let them know the reason we have this hope. And we do that with meekness and fear. Meaning we can't just straight, you know what I mean, come down on people because we was in this situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we got to do that with meekness and fear. Make them feel more comfortable in like accepting this world, especially when you're talking to our people. Right? But read on. Yo, I don't know, Zaquan. Let me know if you need me off right now. Text me or something. Baba Gashad.
Okay. And 16. Having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Christ.
Right. But the Most High is gonna confound them for that. When they come at you talking all type of evil and lies about you, the Most High is gonna confound them with that. Right? So we don't got nothing to worry about. We just take that. Right? But read on.
For it is better, if the will of God be so, that ye suffer for well doing, than for evil doing.
We want to make sure that when we suffering, so we always want to make sure we checking ourselves. And we know we going through something, it's because of something we doing righteously, and that's just our trials and tribulations. That it's not a punishment for something that we've been doing wrong. Khan, okay. Keep on. Yeah, that's what I get from that. Hold on, priest. Come on, yeah, keep on.
For Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust.
So Yahweh Shah had to go through it. Yahweh Shah had to suffer for sins. He suffered for. He was the just that suffered for the unjust. So he was a righteous man that suffered for us, right? Read on.
That he might bring us to God.
And his whole reason for doing that was to bring us back to the Most High, to be that bridge, because our sins was so much that regular sacrifices wasn't going to get us back. We had too much sins as a people, as a nation. So he had to die for us to bring us back to the Most High. Right? But read on.
Being put to death in the flesh.
Being put to death in the flesh, right, read?
But quickened by spirit.
Quickened by the spirit, right? So let's go real quick, chapter 5. Chapter 5, and we're going to read 2 to 11. I know I was actually what he just said? 1 Peter chapter 5. Could you continue? Okay. Khan, I'm going to continue. Damn, I hope I didn't cut this off.
No.
Well, yours is behind a little bit. Because I can't even see it. Khan. I don't know if I know I'm frozen. It looked like I'm frozen.
No, you just put the camera on.
The camera is on.
Oh.
Yo, I don't know if y'all can still hear me.
No.
The camera is on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if y'all can still hear me. I know I messed up. It's dark right now, but you know it is what it is. We're gonna keep on. Yeah. So I don't know. He said we closed. I know I messed up. Verse 2. Verse 2. Yeah, 1 Peter 5, verse 2.
Feed the flock of God which is among you.
We're supposed to feed the flock. That's our job. We got to feed the flock of the Most High that's among us. Right? Read on.
Taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucres, but by ready mind.
Right. So how about constraint, not forcing this on our people, but willingly. They supposed to willingly want this, and not for filthy lucre, meaning for money. We're not supposed to be doing this for money. That's what pastors and churches be doing. We doing this because we want to make it to the kingdom, and we want to see our brothers make it to the kingdom. It said, but of readiness of mind, right? Read on.
Neither is being lords over God's heritage.
God's heritage, which is Israel, not being lords over God's heritage, meaning like, you know what I mean, trying to be a boss, basically, trying to be over everybody.
Okay.
Some people do it because it's sad to say, a lot of people look for the notoriety and they want to be famous in Israel and this and that. Like this, that's not the whole purpose of this. We're supposed to do this because we genuinely love our people. We want to make it to the kingdom. We want to see as much as our people make it as possible. We're supposed to be doing this for the love, nothing else. For the love of the Most High and love of our people. Right? But read on.
But being examples to the flock.
And we got to be an example. That's how we live. You can't, he said, being lords over God's heritage, but as a sample of the flock. They supposed to look at us and see how we move and want to follow after that. You know what I mean? They see that light. We're not supposed to be on some, you know what I mean? Oh, you do this, you do that, but you're not living that yourself.
Right.
That's what the Pharisees did. And that's why Yahushua kept coming at him. He said, yo, everything the Pharisees tell you to do it. Do what they say, but don't do as they do, because they say and do not. You know what I'm saying? So we're supposed, matter of fact, where is that? That's Matthew, definitely. Matthew, let me try to find that real quick. He said, do as they say,
Not as they do.
but not as they do. Right. That's
Is it 23? Verse 3?
23 verse 3.
Maybe.
Come, that's it. That's a fact. Call it and read it. Start at verse 2.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 2. Saying that the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
He said the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, right? Read.
All therefore, whatsoever they bid you, observe.
So whatever they tell you to do, do. This is what Yahushua saying. So he like, because they teachers of the law. So he like, yo, if they telling you to do something, do it. You feel what I'm saying? This is a commandment from Yahushua. So all those that try to say, oh, the Pharisees, because Christian church try to say, Christ saying like the Pharisees because they was teaching the law. That's a lie. As you can see, they teaching the law. Yahushua saying, yo, do it. Follow what they say, right? But read on.
That observe and do, but do not ye after their works. For they say and do not.
Right. So we're not supposed to follow after them because they say to do something, but they wasn't doing what they were saying to do. Hypocrites, exactly. That's Yahushua's main thing. That was his main problem with them. He hates hypocrites. So we got to do what we say to the people to do. What we're teaching everybody to do, we're supposed to be doing the same thing. We're supposed to be living what we're teaching. Right. So go back to that. That's 1 Peter 5. 5 and what was that verse 3?
Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being examples to the flock.
Example is an example. It's supposed to be an example to Israel. Right? Read on.
And when the chief shepherd shall appear,
that chief shepherd being Yahushua,
ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
So when we leading a flock correctly, being an example to them, when Yahushua comes, we're going to get that crown. You know what I mean? That crown is never going to fade away. You're not taking that off your head. You're going to be a king forever. You know what I mean? That sounds beautiful, don't it?
Yeah.
God, but we know.
Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder.
Younger, submit yourselves to the elder. Why? The elder is supposed to be he's supposed to be moving like that, being an example. Supposed to be keeping these all sacred commandments. So if he's teaching the younger people, I know he know what he's talking about. So follow after him. You feel what I'm saying? He's gonna tell you something in wisdom. You feel what I'm saying? He's not gonna tell you something just do this. That's it. Nah, he's gonna tell you something in wisdom. So you're like, yo, follow after the elder, right? But read on.
Ye, all of you, be subject to one another.
We gotta be subject to one another. That's even with the elders. You could rebuke an elder. People say don't rebuke an elder. Nah, you could rebuke an elder, but it's a way you do it. Do it with humility, and you know what I mean? Just not trying to put somebody down.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But you let him know. If he going off, let him know he going off. That's love. That's how we love each other. You You know what I'm saying? That's according to the scriptures. Leviticus 19:17. We're gonna stay here also, but I want to go real quick to Leviticus. What's that? 19:17 or 17:19? I be getting dyslexic sometimes. It's 19:17, Karen.
I got that. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
He's the Most High commanding us. Do not hate your brother in your heart. But what?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
We gotta rebuke our brothers, right? Why?
And not suffer sin upon him.
And not suffer sin upon him. That's love right there. Because he's letting you know, if you hate your brother, you're not gonna rebuke him. You feel what I'm saying? So if you love your brother, you know he going off, you gotta let him know he's going off. That's love right there, because you don't want to see him die. You don't want to see him go through that hellfire that's about to come on earth. You feel what I'm saying? So let's go back. Go back where you was just at. He said, we gotta submit. He said, likewise, start the top of 5.
Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder.
Right?
Ye, all of you, be subject to one another.
We gotta be subject to one another, right? Read.
And be clothed with humility.
Humility, right? Be clothed. We gotta be humble. We gotta be humble. We can't be boasting ourselves in front of each other or boasting ourselves over each other. We gotta be humble, right? Read.
For God resisteth the proud,
The Most High hates the proud. He hates that. He hates pride. He hates when people boast themselves up and put themselves above everybody else. He don't like that. You know what I'm saying? He say, the Most High resists the proud, right? Read.
And giveth grace to the humble.
And giveth grace to the humble, right? Those ones that's humble, you don't see them excel in the scriptures, being able to break down everything and all that stuff.
And that's 1 Peter 5:5.
Right? Read on.
Verse 6, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God.
Right. We got to humble ourselves under the mighty hand of the Most High. Read.
That he may exalt you due to time.
In due time. The Most High is the one that exalts you. Because you got righteous elders that's watching. They're going to be watching. And the Most High is going to be like, yo, listen, raise him up. Raise him up in position. Give him more duties to do. Because he can handle that. He's going to handle it right. You feel what I'm saying? If people see that. The Most High is exalting you. You feel what I'm saying? Read on.
Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
Right, casting all your care upon the Most High, because the Most High cares for us. Right, and as we read earlier, but we can read it again.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion that walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
The devil wants to devour us. So we got to be sober, be vigilant, and we got to be moving correct. We use each other as a crutch. We lean on each other. Anybody have any problems, they can always call me. We should be able to call each other and talk. You know what I mean? Get everything situated. You know what I mean? Try to help each other out as much as possible. Right? Read on.
Whom resisteth steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
So all throughout the world, all our brothers is going through the same things we going through. It's nothing new under the sun. We all go through it. That might be a little different to a certain extent, but we all go through it for the most part. Right? But read on.
But the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Yasharahla, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you.
Right. So you're going to go through it for a little while. But after that, once you prove yourself, you good. You're like, yo, hey, come in. You know what I mean? Come in. This is all yours. This is what we're going to do here. You know what I mean? Yeah, do your thing. You know what is that, right?
To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Well, praises, right? To him be glory and dominion forever. We got to always get the Most High his glory. Right? Let's get real quick James chapter 4. James chapter 4, verse 4.
Adulterers. 1441. something like that.
Huh?
I got you. I was like,
Are you trying to
I
tell
got
me?
it. I got it.
Yeah, now they don't all be the same
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, almost though. It's pretty close.
Close.
Yeah, it's a James.
James
James
4,
4. James 4, chapter 4.
verse 4.
And it reads, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses."
The adulterers and adulterers. This is what they call in Israel right now. Israel be acting up. Right?
Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Enmity is an enemy. So if you are friends with the world, you are enemy of the Most High God.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of God.
Right. So we can't be friends with the world.
Mm.
You can't have them. They can't be your besties in the world. It won't work. It don't work. You know what I mean? Those that's friends with the world, because the world is wicked. So if you're a friend of the wicked, you're enemy of the Most High.
Come.
That's how it works. Right? Because remember we read I don't think we hit this today, but you read Romans chapter 1. I want to say, what was it? Verse 30. Yeah, I'm gonna grab it real quick. I'll grab it and read it. Romans chapter 1 and verse 32, and it says, "Who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them." You feel what I'm saying? So the world pushes that homosexuality is okay. If you cool with that, you worthy of death just like them homosexuals.
Okay.
The world pushes that pedophilia, bestiality, all these different things. They got tree lovers. They got people marrying trees.
Right.
That's crazy, man. If you think all that's cool, you're worthy of death right along with people. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. So if you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy of the Most High. I don't want to be an enemy of the Most High. F the world. People like that. Yeah, man.
Bring that up.
Let's go on.
Do you think that Scripture saith in vain? Oh yeah, James chapter 4 verse 5.
All right.
Did you want to go there?
10 minutes. Let me know when to stop. Well, I guess I'll see when y'all pop up. What you said, Salaki?
James chapter 4 verse 5.
Yeah. We're gonna read all the way down to we're gonna read down to 10.
Okay. Do you think that the Scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in the lusteth to envy?
Yeah, because the spirit, it says the spirit, our bodies and our flesh, we want to do all type of stuff that we're not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And when you let that go unchecked, your spirit wants to do that too. You know what I mean? We supposed to strengthen our spirit in these scriptures, in the commandments, praying and fasting, and then we make our spirit strong enough we can overcome the body. Right? But read on.
Verse 6. But he giveth more grace.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
And we reading that same thing again. We're not supposed to be proud. You know what I mean? We all could be rebuked. We could all be checked. You know what I mean? And the Most High is gonna give that grace to those that's humble. He's gonna forgive. You see you was wrong. A lot of people, especially a proud person, they're gonna make an excuse. Oh, I did this because of this. I did this because of this. Ain't no excuse. You just come down to it. Yo, listen, I was wrong. You know what I mean? The Most High give you that grace. Like, all right, I forgive you for that. That's what the grace is. So He's forgiving us for that. Right? Read on.
Verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Mm-hmm. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
And we said we submit ourselves to the Most High and resist the devil, he'll flee. What did he just say?
No, that was another camp.
Okay. He said, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. You know what I mean? You're going to have times where you're going to have certain feelings or like certain thoughts pop in your head. You got to get rid of that right away. Resist that and he'll stop. You know what I mean? He'll flee from you. Right? But read on.
Verse 8. Draw nigh to the Most High, and he will draw nigh to you.
Right.
Cleanse.
The closer we get to the Most High, we keeping these Lord's statute commandments, we fasting, we praying, we drawing to the Most High, he's going to draw closer to us. He's going to bring us closer, and it's going to get a lot easier. That goes with time, though. Right? Read on.
Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded.
We got to stay away from the sin. Can't be double-minded. You know what I mean? Like, it's good, but it's bad. I don't know what I'm doing. That lukewarm spirit. You know what I mean? Read on.
James chapter 4, verse 9. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter. Is that no? Is that laughter? Okay.
Yeah.
Be turned into mourning and your joy to heaviness.
Right. We're not supposed to love anything about this world. That's what it's getting into. Not supposed to love anything about this world. We're supposed to hate this world. Hate that they push that homosexuality on our children, that pedophilia and all that. They teaching sex ed in like kindergarten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It don't make no sense. They got trans. I think they got something like transgender day in schools, like something like that.
Something like
Reading day or some crap.
Nah, they actually the boys coming in dresses and the
wow.
girls coming in and dressed like boys. This is what they doing in our school.
They're taking the words, I think he and she or something like that.
They try to
out
get
of
rid of that.
Pronouns.
Yeah,
that's
they,
crazy.
them.
Yeah, all of that.
Gender is a fact.
That's crazy.
Gender is a fact, and they trying to change all that.
It's nature.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. But and they just said somebody got canceled for that. That was the girl that wrote Harry Potter, the Harry Potter stuff. She said gender is a fact, and they tried to cancel her.
Wow.
Because gender is a fact. You're born with either a penis or a vagina. Like, it don't make no sense. Right? But
James chapter 4, verse 10.
Humble
yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up.
We gotta humble ourselves, and the Most High will lift us up. Humble ourselves. Humble ourselves. Come to the Most High, He will lift us up. Let's get real quick, Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. I should see him pop up on here too, matter of fact, if he come in, right?
I'll definitely see it too.
You said 2:18?
2 verse 3.
2-3 come.
We want to get that.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 3. Before the decree bring forth.
That's not.
Oh, Salaki, that's 2. That's 2. I could have stayed there though. But this is 2-3. Seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment.
Right. It says, seek the Most High. We got to seek the Most High and draw close to him. Zephaniah is towards the end of the Old Testament. I got it. Zephaniah.
It's right before that.
Yeah. Right. It says, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth. Right. We on?
Which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness.
We got to constantly seek righteousness. Right.
Seek meekness.
Seek meekness. Right.
It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, or the Most High's anger.
And that's the day of judgment. That's when the day of judgment comes. We want to be hid from that. It's about to get,
No.
Yeah, it's about to get real ugly out here. It's gonna get real ugly. So
That's right.
those that's keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, they have a chance to get saved out of it. They have a chance to be hid from everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Be hid from the famine. Be hid from the persecution hunting Israel down. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that we keeping the law, statutes, commandments, doing everything the Most High wants us to do, so we can have that armor, a light on us, so He can hide us from all the foul stuff that's about to happen. It's about to get real ugly out here. Let's get on real quick. Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65, verse 11.
Isaiah 65, verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish that the drink of the fearing unto
Offering.
the number.
The drink offering, meaning a sacrifice, basically, which is what they do. This is going to the wicked people of Israel. You feel what I'm saying? The wicked of Israel. He's saying, I'm going to read that again. It says, but ye are they that forsake the Most High. All those Israelites that's keeping Christmas right now, and that goes into that drink offering. They getting saucy, you know what I mean? Drinking, having their festival, right? They forsaken the Most High. They forgot my holy mountain. They not trying to make no way towards Israel, to Jerusalem. They don't want none of that. That prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number, right? He said, what? Read on.
Therefore will I number you to the sword.
All those people that's doing that will be numbered to the sword. They will die, thus saith the Most High.
And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter.
They're going to all bow down to the sword. Look how the Most High talk.
Wow.
Most High's gully. You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, he said, I'm going to number you to the sword. Khan, the gully, the true gully guy.
Yeah, true
He
gully
said,
guy.
I'm going to number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Right? Read.
Because when I called ye, did not answer.
Because he called, and how he called? By using us. We go out there. We on the YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We out there in the streets, on the corners, getting it in. You know what I mean? Calling the people. Everybody, all us here, be at our jobs, maybe friends, family, everything, spreading that word. You know what I mean? He called, but nobody answered. All these people don't want to answer, right? Read on.
When I spake, ye did not hear.
When he spake, when we speak this word to the people, that's the Most High speaking. We're not speaking our words. We're speaking Most High's words. That's his words. They didn't hear, right? Read on.
But did evil before mine eyes.
They continue to eat that shrimp, lobster, and crab. They continue with that Christmas ham. They continue putting gifts and picking up gifts from under that tree. You know what I mean? Read on.
And did choose that wherein I delighted not.
They choose everything that's against the Most High. All these people in this world choose everything against the Most High. Sunday worship, all these holidays and idols and different religions, everything. Their homosexuality, their adultery, you know what I mean? All type of fornications. They choose everything that the Most High don't like. Right? Read on.
Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, my servants shall eat.
And the Most High said, his servants shall eat. That's what we looking forward to. We them servants. We want to make sure we in that number. Because that food is about to be off them shelves real soon. There's going to be no food, no water, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure we them servants that's going to eat. How we do that? By keeping his Lord's statute commandments.
Salaki, I went to Food for Less the other day, and I kid you not, the whole meat section was gone, and they put pork in there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if they out of beef or what's going on.
You know, I know when the COVID first hit out here, 3 major meat plants had shut down.
See?
Now I don't know about what's going on right now, but I done heard some. I heard a lot of stuff. They talking about the farmers is not supposed to get the crops. They got turned them over. They can't get beef out. So it looked like they trying to force us to eat pork again.
Right.
Which is what the Romans did during the time of the Maccabees. I don't know if y'all know about that.
Damn.
They was actually trying to really forcing us. You either eat this pork or you die.
I'm a die.
Die, right.
That's how we're going to have to be. That's how we're going to have to be. We got to resist unto blood. You feel what I'm saying? But that time is coming.
Shalaki, it's so crazy with me at work. They make a joke because they buy food for us to eat. So we have a fridge. We can just go eat whatever. And before I got there, they get whatever they want. Now that I started working the last 6 months at this place, whatever months, they know every time they order, they know, okay, this can't have pork in it. They know Shapaz here, he can't have pork. And every time I come in with something, they make a joke about it. It's so serious now that they make a joke. Like, if all the way to my regional manager comes in, yeah, it's serious. My region, they respect it. They respect it. Don't feed this man no pork. Don't feed this man no pork. You know, they respect it. So now when they bring food in, they make sure there's food in there with no pork in it because they know Shapaz here.
Yeah, I used to be on the phone with him. I'm like, yo, what's with all this pork? I know I don't eat no damn pork.
I'm at work. Yeah, I'm at work.
No
pork. You already know, King, no pork.
No pork on the fork. You already
right.
But yeah, it's gonna be that time where, you know what I mean. But so the Most High is saying, here, read that part again. We use that.
Verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
He said his servants is gonna eat. We trying to be them servants that eat. He said we gonna eat, but they gonna go hungry. So either it's gonna be pork or nothing at all. You know what I mean? But they're gonna go hungry. These people that didn't want to listen, they're gonna starve. Right? Read on.
Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
And we're going to be able to drink, most high willing. We're going to be able to have something to drink. Right? But everybody else is going to be thirsty. It's a horrible feeling to be thirsty. You know what I mean? But read on.
Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
He said his servants is going to rejoice. We're going to be happy. We're going to be good. But everybody else is going to be ashamed. And that day, they all going to wish that they listened. They're going to wish that they paid attention to what we were saying. They're going to wish that they kept the commandments because they're going to see that we good. We're going to sit in there at our turkey sandwich, glass of water. Right. As soon as they touch the water, it turns to blood for them.
I ain't eating no turkey sandwiches right now.
But you know, we don't know how it's going to be, but we know that the Most High said that. You know what I mean? His servants is going to eat. His servants going to drink while everybody else is going to starve. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we follow the Most High because I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go. I know how it feels to be hungry. I don't know how it feels to starve. That's a horrible feeling. I don't want that.
It's a horrible feeling. If you don't know, trust me.
Yeah,
Take words from somebody that went through it. You don't want to go through that.
Right.
That means everything is food. Literally, anything you look at, you looking at it as it like it's food. A human, a dog. Right. Trust me, I've been there.
And it's like that in the scriptures. It says that there's times where people actually starving. They wind up eating their babies. Wow. They eating grass, eating leather belts.
Everything like that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we don't want to go through that. That's it. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real bad out here, right? But let's read on.
14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, right? And shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Right. Read on.
15. Ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord God, Yahweh, shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
Right. That's when we come back to our nationality, which we are now. But right now, the world looking at us as what, black, Latino, natives, all this different stuff, different names. We're going to come back to our heritage. You know what I mean? He's going to slay all these other people and bring up his people. Because there's scriptures that it tells you, like, let's quick, real quick. Second Ezra chapter 9. We're going to come right back to that because we're going to keep on, we're going to read the rest of that chapter. But Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse, Second Ezra chapter 9 verses, we'll start at verse 20.
Second Ezra verses 9. Verse 20. O Lord, that thou dwellest in
chapter 9.
Oh, my bad.
That was what, 5?
So I considered the world, and behold.
Chapter 9, verse 8, right?
Verse
20, my bad. All right. So I considered the world, and behold, there was a peril because of the devices that were come into it.
Right.
And I saw and spared it greatly.
So the Most High spared this world. He said he's seen all the wickedness that's going on in here. He's seen all the wickedness and he spared it. He's going to tell you why, though. Read.
And have kept me a grape of the cluster.
The grape of the cluster is those that's going to make it. That 1/3. Right, that 1/3. That's the grape of the cluster. So he spared it. He spared the world and he kept for himself that grape of the cluster, that 1/3. Right, read on.
And a plant of a great people.
A plant of a great people, right?
22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
He said, let the multitude perish that was born in vain. The rest of the Israelites was born in vain. Those ones, the 2/3 is going to die, born in vain, right? Read.
And let my grape be kept.
He said he's going to keep his grape. Everybody else is going to die. But he's going to keep his grape, right?
And my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
He said, with great labor have you made it perfect. How we was made perfect? Through those trials and tribulations, turning us into fine gold. You know what I'm saying? So he made us perfect. He made us into true men. And he's going to keep us and get rid of everybody else, right? Proverbs 21:18. Proverbs 21:18 real quick.
the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 18. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright.
So the 2/3 is gonna die. They're dying the same reason for Yasharahla died, basically. They're a ransom for us, the ones that make it, the 1/3. You know what I'm saying? Those 2/3 are gonna be a ransom, a sacrifice, basically, for the 1/3 that makes it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's their purpose of being here. That's why Most High said, yo, he gonna sacrifice them. What it said, and I'm Isaiah 65 verse 15 was that, right? He shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Most High shall slay thee and call his servants by another name. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that makes sense?
Okay.
Let's read on.
Are we gonna Proverbs?
No, Isaiah 65.
Isaiah 65, verse 16. That he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the God, in Yahweh of the truth.
Yeah, those that survive, they're gonna be blessing the Most High.
Okay.
I said they made themselves a blessing on earth by following the Most High. So once he saved them, they're gonna be blessing the Most High. All right, read on.
And he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the Most High of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes.
That's a beautiful thing. It's gonna be where we not even gonna remember going through this hard times. You know what I mean? Living so good. It's just, every day is just a beautiful day. Every day is good, happy. You know what I mean? All that former times, like, yo, that's like a bad dream. You know what I'm saying? Osai said he not even gonna remember that. He gonna cut that. He gonna not remember it, but he's gonna hide his eyes from that. All the transgressions that we did before, it's like, yo, water under the bridge. You know what I mean? We're gonna start over, start fresh. Right? Read on.
Verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens, a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind.
Right. It's gonna be like a bad dream. New heaven meaning new rulership. New earth meaning new bottom. We're gonna right now who's in heaven and who's in hell. Who's in heaven, who's on earth? Esau's in heaven.
And we in hell.
And we in hell. So he about to change that. We're gonna be in heaven, Esau gonna be in hell. Right? So you're gonna change all that. And the former is not gonna come to mind. Like, we're gonna look at these Edomites in slavery, like, how the hell was y'all even? Huh?
All the other nations.
All the other nations, but actually Esau's gonna be on the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the hell. Everybody else gonna be in between on their levels. But
Elam down there too. He said Elder Banyamian's podium. He said something.
Whenever you ready. Okay, Con. Every time I do that, it cuts out the screen. But yeah, we out. We want to say Shalom. Let the elder do his thing. We're gonna cut out. Shalom.
Shalom.